Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We got 2 weeks running. We have literal witchcraft in the Pacific Northwest. Couple young guys getting the plug for the end of the year. We're gonna plug. Let's talk ball. Shane Bieber.
Rowdy to last.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. I'm Jake Storielli, at Talkin' Jake on social media. That is Trevor Plouffe, at Trevor Plouffe on social media. That's Bobby Sirocco producing his buns off as we are in the final throes of the season. We had a couple teams feel like they're back from the dead. The Diamondbacks are in the standings. Get ready for that. The Reds might not be. And the two powers in the AL that have now emerged, Toronto looks unstoppable, and so do the Seattle Mariners. A lot of ball to yuck, Coach. How are you?
Jakey boy, I'm doing great. It's good to be here on this Monday morning. I love this point of the season. It's interesting to me. I'm not, we're not a math pod whatsoever. So I keep seeing all these standings. Hey, D-backs 2.5 games out, 2 games back, but 12 games left. So the odds are so bad, but to me, I'm like, anything can happen here. Yeah. So me and the computers are beefing, a little bit of Buster only beef on the side. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. I love it. I'm in my element right now. I got a ton of energy. And I'm seeing you tomorrow, big boy.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was a little extra juice, and I just realized that's our brotherly. We're gonna fight or fuck each other. And yeah, there's something going on with the short kings of baseball now.
It's gonna be the former. It's gonna be the former.
Buster's calling out Jom on the Chapman not aiming his fastball. Kenny R's, looking like Derrick Henry out there and like kind of flexing on it. I don't know.
Wait till Buster only comes for you.
I know.
It's just a cruel world out there. A guy that I used to respect.
Oh, yeah.
Coming at me, coming at Jim, and if he comes at you, that might be it.
That's the last way. I think he knows. I think he knows he could go at you guys. He knows not to come for the champ. So yeah, there's that. We've got, you don't see a lot of this on Talkin' Baseball. We've got a posthumous letter from Bob Uecker for the Brewers. Like this little weekend in baseball had a ton going on. The spotlight is on every Mets game right now and what that does in the National League. Obviously, Cody Clemens will be talked about. I think we sink our teeth into it, Coach.
Let's do it,
Coach. I mentioned it, literal witchcraft in Seattle, as they 4-game sweep the Los Angeles Angels. The starting pitchers and every pitcher was punching out tickets. Brian Wu with 13th. That puts him in second place. George Kirby put up 14 strikeouts. Bryce Miller, how about that? He had 11. And J.P. Crawford's all over. And Cal Raleigh's tying Mickey Mantle for switch hitting home runs. And they have a witch. At the Etsy witch, a Mariners fan paid $20. They haven't lost since that happened. Some things are bigger than baseball. Speaking of, the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees teed it up for 3. And how about the New York Yankees winning a series against a good baseball team? They just finished off a 2-week stretch where they took on 4 contenders. They went 7-5. They couldn't survive Garrett Crochet in that final game. But the Yankees changing how their fans are feeling. The Cleveland Guardians are back in the mix. I thought they were out of this season, and here they are. Check them out in the standings after they swept the White Sox. Okay. Tanner Issa-Bibe with the complete game shutout. Trev's Parker Messick just cannot stop getting people out. And then they finish it off with some Bo Naylor. Big Christmas is back in the mix, and so are the Cleveland Guard Dogs. The Toronto Blue Jays are inevitable. They sweep the Baltimore Orioles, including a walk-off sac fly in that second game. They go down in every game just to come back. I'm starting to think it's a secret thrill of theirs. And they did that in all of these games. George Springer and Alejandro Kirk with 3 hits in that final game. Chris Bassett with a solid start as Toronto sweeps. The Arizona Diamondbacks took 2 out of 3 from the Twins. Might hear more about them in the NL segment because they are in the mix. They win. They could have swept this without Cody Clemens. How's your 3-homer day for the kid? Not bad, Rocket. Snakes come back. They win the next 2, 1 in extras. James McCann getting his hands in. And then maybe the what is you doing baby of the week. The Cincinnati Reds get swept by the Athletics. Oh, no. They get shut out in the first game as Carlos Cortez, sure, another young hitter. He has a 2-homer game. Nick Kurtz hit a ball that's still going. Longest homer of the year, 497? That doesn't feel right. And then they get the sweep done that Cincinnati couldn't really afford that right now. How about the Athletics showing some fight late in the year? That is what happened in the American League.
Did you see the Nick Kurtz homer?
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
It's like when everything lines up perfectly. Pitch right down the middle. Nick Kurtz getting extension, putting that big old body into it.
That is going to be a high testosterone spring training next year. Like all these young guys that are now tasting themselves a little bit, like that, we might have to get down there.
It's just, man, I agree. I mean, I've watched them play a bunch this year, and they have a collection of position players that are awesome. And that's it. That's it, dude.
You love Jacob Lopez.
Jacob Lopez every once in a while twirls the pill. I don't know what they're going to do, Jake. I don't know how they're just going to magically create pitching there. But the offense is awesome.
And that was the Athletics talk everyone was looking for.
All right. Do you want the standing spot?
Yes.
Because I got them. And
Yes.
We're trying to keep this show a little high and tight today. Coach Trev has to take over for Chris Rose today on Baseball Today. Jolly Olive filling in. Check that out if you want. But here are the standings in the AL East. As you mentioned, the Blue Jays standing on business, 87 and 62. They're 4 games up. Essentially, they're going to win the AL East, barring some insane meltdown. I can't guarantee it yet, but they're close. Where do I find the magic numbers? I'm the standings guy. I've been looking, Coach.
I found myself. There's a lot of times I'm not good with words. There's sometimes I am good with words. Me trying to explain magic number to someone this weekend was tragic. Because how do you explain
your wins versus a team's losses? That's it,
right?
Or plus a team's losses.
The closest teams to you losses, and each one counts as 1.
They're different.
I don't know. I got uncomfortable.
Okay, I don't know either. Don't know what the magic number is. It's getting close, though. Blue Jays are going to be popping champagne shortly. I'm assuming a playoff spot celebration, which you know what? I enjoy a little playoff spot celebration when there's still more to work for. It's usually just a little champagne toast. It's so classy.
Blue Jays magic number at 10.
Okay, there you go. 87 and 62 for them, 83 and 66 for the New York Yankees, 82 and 68 for the Red Sox. At the bottom of the division, the Rays 73 and 76, and the Orioles 69, nice, and 80. In the Central, another team that's going to be popping champagne very shortly, the Detroit Tigers, a 6.5 game lead. Now the Guardians have, gone on a little run here. They closed the gap, if you will, but I think the gap is too wide at this point of the season. 85 and 65 for the Tigers, 78 and 71 for the Guard Dogs. Dead even, 75 and 75. The Royals are making their Cancun plans. Shout out Vinny P. 65 and 84 for the Twins. Twins, no vacation for you. We're starting practice day 1 of the offseason.
Yes.
57 and 93 for the White Sox. More on them later. Spankings for them. Spankings aren't even a thing anymore, huh?
No.
I never got spanked either. I probably should have.
Yeah, I didn't really get spanked. I definitely have people my age that was in the mix, but again, I don't want to say tastefully. I don't know.
Sometimes I want to spank my kids, but I don't.
You can't. I think that's out.
Okay, it's out. The Mariners. Holy shnikes.
Look at this.
We're talking about witchcraft. I got a story for you coming up. 82 and 68. They now have a 1-game lead over the Houston Astros. And all the mean things I said about the Mariners, like, are they going to miss the playoffs with all these cool things happening? You can kind of say the same thing about the Astros. You were leading the AL West for almost the entire season,
right?
And now you're, close to being out of the playoffs. 81-69 for them. The Rangers 79-71. They're 3 games back in the division. Nice round numbers for the A's, 70-80, and then the Los Angeles Angels 69, nice, and 81. In the wild card in the American League right now, the Yankees are holding the top spot. The Red Sox have the second spot, and the Astros hanging on to the third spot. Now, the Rangers, only 2 games back. The Guardians, as I mentioned, crushing it, are 2.5 games back. Those are the only teams in the mix. And if the season ended today, the Blue Jays and the Tigers would have the bye, and the Houston Astros would have to go into Seattle and play. I don't think Seattle wants that. And the Red Sox would have to go to the Boogie Down Bronx and play the Yanks. And those are your standings in the American League.
Well done, Coach. Totally got the Blue Jays magic number wrong. It's 5 to be in the playoffs. I believe it's 9 or 10 to win the AL East.
It's a difficult thing, Coach. That's why I can't find them on the internet.
And the website I just ended up, a shot free ad to start, playoffstatus.com.
I think I went there too.
I'm about 90% Jimmy made this website this morning. Like I'm pretty sure this was just a side project of his. Hey, real ad, Indeed. If you are looking to grow your business, Indeed is the right place to hire. If you need someone today or maybe even yesterday, you can find amazing candidates fast. It's easy. Just use Indeed. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. Talking baseball listeners will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your job more visibility at Indeed.com/baseball. Just go to Indeed.com/baseball right now. Support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/baseball. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, Indeed is all you need. Coach Trev, let's get into beautiful Seattle because I want to talk the ball, and you've now teased your witch story twice that I think let's do a little ball and then we'll witch. You mentioned Seattle might not want Houston, and there's layers to that. There's years of layers to that I'm interested in, but I don't think anyone wants to go to Seattle right now. Some of their at-home stats are crazy. They've won 9 straight games, and they are 23-6 over their last 29 home games since the All-Star break. That nobody wants that, and it feels like their starting pitching is peaking, and Cal Raleigh is going nuts, and your guy Tito Polanco won't stop hitting extra base hits. It feels like it's all coming together in the Pacific Northwest.
It really does, and the tongue-in-cheek comment I made about the Astros really has to do with one person in particular. It's just Jordan. I love Jordan so much. She's obviously very scary for any team. In particular, the Mariners have some. They remember what he's done to that team. But I agree with you. I think right now, and I'm going to ask this question to Jolly Olive later today, is this team, like when they're going well, like we could talk about the pitching performance they had in this series, but when this team is firing on all cylinders the way that they're doing right now, I think they could be the most complete team in baseball. And like there's a few teams you could say that about, but they're one of them, and you have to feel really good about that. Now they're on this streak. You can talk about the Etsy witch, which is hilarious to me. But in the end, I think it's, Mariners fans for a long time were, I kept saying they everything's gone right. They're like, oh, the starting pitching, they were injured early in the year. It hasn't been that good. Dude, this team has pitching. They have timely hitting. They can play defense. They have a back end of the bullpen that can get it done. It's just, they're a really, really fun team to watch. I think every single person, not every single person, a lot of people, Julio Rodriguez, we got to just stop talking about him the way we talk about him. He's come on like a bat out of hell in the second half, like he always does. Yeah. They're fun to watch. I will say this. We talked about the pitching staff, 24 innings pitched, 43 Ks for the starters in this series. I just watched the Angels play.
Right.
Bad team. Like a bad team. But the Mariners did exactly what they're supposed to. They win the first game, they walk off. That's great. Then they handle the next games fairly easily. And they just kind of get the job done. I'm very happy for Mariners fans. I'm happy for the actual team themselves to go this long and to string together baseball like this at this point in time to regain a lead at the top of the AL West is just awesome.
Yeah, and we got on the YouTube right now, Bobby showing the Mitch Garver home run that helps them secure one of the wins in this series. And I really loved his quote after, because one of the running jokes that used to be more on baseball Twitter is about the DVD, and it's a throwback to when teams would win the World Series and you'd buy their the team DVD. Like, that's just kind of what you did. That Mitch Garver says that's what championship teams do. You never know who's going to do it that night. It could be Cal. It could be Julio. Those are the usual suspects. But it could be Leo. It could be myself. You never know. And Mitch Garver, the way he hit that home run was just kind of a sick pimp job, like a pimp job without pimping it, and then he did pimp it. I don't need Mitch Garver kind of throwing Leo Rivas under the bus like that. He could have just said, it could be those guys, it could be me. He threw Leo in the mix. But, man, right now, the Mariners got a pretty nice DVD going.
Well, I think that what he said is true, though. I mean, that's the mark of a good team, is you got guys stepping up, when they get put in these situations. So, yeah, it was Leo with the 13th inning walk-off Johnny. And then the next night it's Harry Ford, walk-off sac fly. And then it's Mitch Garver with the go-ahead homer. Like, those aren't the guys you name on the Mariners when you start talking about offense. But that's what good teams do. Like, they have these guys step up. So whether that is, as we're showing, the Etsy witch or not, I don't know. All I know is that Seattle's thriving right now. And I'm very happy, because that is one of the more fun atmospheres in baseball when the team is going well. And I'm assuming it'll be that way if they're hosting a playoff series.
So, yeah, if you're fighting blind right now, it appears that Steve Blackburn, a Mariners fan, paid an Etsy witch to fix the Mariners, who at the time had lost 4 in a row in 6 of 7 games. And since then, I believe it was a $15.99 for a spell to get their.
It seems cheap, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there.
A fair. I think that's a fair price.
Like, if I'm the witch, I'm upping the price.
I think that witch's price is going up.
With like $100 for a spell seems like that's easy.
Oh my God! I mean, the amount that certain fans would pay to give their team a 9-game win streak.
She should switch fan bases and go to New York. The desperation in New York, she could raise her prices tenfold.
I would not be surprised if this Etsy witch is going to have a lot of baseball fans invest in a couple spells. I may do that later this program. I'm interested.
Do we need to become Etsy witches? Like, how about if Shohei, if something happens, Shohei goes 0-for, we could just Etsy witch it in Japan and be like, hey guys, what do you want to pay to get Shohei out of this slump?
Let's see. Okay, yeah, I'm on her Etsy right now. I might brew something up. What's your witch story? You've got me a little nervous.
No, it's not that bad. So AAA International League, we would play. God, who was it that was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania? We used to play. Was that where we stayed when we played Scranton? Are Scranton and Bethlehem, Pennsylvania close to each other? We used to stay in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. We might have been playing the Phillies. We might have been playing the Yankees. I forget who it was. But Bethlehem, Pennsylvania is a very small town that's got a lot of history in it, like a lot of the East Coast does. And part of their history, I think, is some witchcraft. Okay. Because I walked down the downtown strip there one day. This is years ago. This is probably 2009. And there was a store, and it was like, okay, what is this store? This is interesting, kind of dark, whatever it was. It ended up being some sort of spiritual witchcraft store. I was intrigued, Jake. The hotel we stay at is haunted. There's a witchcraft store. I just, I think fall was approaching. I said, I'm going to go check this out, get in the mood a little bit. I go in there. What do I see? A bunch of potions. And this is about the time that Olivia and I started dating. And I was like, man, I really like this girl. So I bought some love potion. Wow. And this is actually, it's true. I went home and Olivia and I sat in a room and we lit a candle and we applied this love potion. And just kind of they said to do on the wrists or something like that. And we kind of did something like this. And for people on podcasts, I'm rubbing my wrists together. That's what we did. And here Olivia and I are, 25 years later. That's not right math. 15 years later. 16 years later. Going strong. And maybe it's just love, but also maybe it was the witch's potion.
I just know I can't stand up right now thinking about that whole scene. My God.
It was intimate.
It feels like Trev, I mean, sometimes you get, slightly protective of your personal life. You just talked about you and Liv with a candle rubbing love potion on each other.
What happened to that spell?
I mean, it happened.
It happened. It's at least twice. Shout out to your kids. So that's powerful stuff with you and Liv, and now with the Seattle Mariners. And yeah, there's a little baby asterisk on that whole thing. That's the Angels are ass. they just fell to last place in the West. The A's jumped them. Crazy.
Imagine calling the Angels Twin Series.
I try not to, because I was watching the Yankees and the Red Sox play, Coach Trev. And again, this stretch of baseball that Yankee fans were hurt by this team. Another summer of just tragic, horrible baseball to watch. Then they run into the Nationals and the White Sox, and they handle their business there in a big way. That they came up into this 4 series against playoff teams. They walk away 7-5, which, again, people go look at expanded standings and just... I think a new stat we want to add, Coach Trev, is not only win-loss record against teams above 500, but win-loss record against teams that are playoff teams. Because I think there would be even more of a drastic gap there. That for the Yankees to finish this off in Boston, they came into the series 2-8 against the Red Sox this year to win the first 2 games with some strong pitching, some strong offense, and just playing good baseball. Felt Yankees fans needed this.
Yeah, I mean, and you had this Boston rotation lined up the exact way they wanted it. So to go in and do that, I think is really important. I get a sense of Yankees fandom probably more than I should between you, Joe's, Jimmy, and everybody else that's a fan at our company. So I did feel the pressure mounting during this stretch. And then, yeah, this was a nice one for you guys to go take the series. I do have more on this series coming up later in the pod. So I did want to, again, I mentioned we're going to go kind of quick through this. So I wanted your take on it, and I think we can kind of.
Yeah, I think the only other thing that's of note, if you're someone that really cruises the baseball internet and you track Yankee stuff, you know that Anthony Volpe has been involved in a lot of internet content, for lack of a better way to put it. He has been out with a shoulder thing that he got a cortisone shot for or whatever. They also said that Caballero, who leads the AL in stolen bases and they traded for at the deadline, he's been starting all of these games, and the defense at shortstop feels sharp, which that's supposed to be Volpe's calling card, but Caballero seems to be checking that box. The stolen bases, the at-bats feel different. That was... The Yankees fans were in a weird spot because it was if you go around the horn, we like almost every position at this point except shortstop. And now that's kind of changed too, that it's part of the reason Yankee fans are feeling a lot different right now.
Thinking about Jose Caballero being the Yankee shortstop is awesome. Just an absolute pest. And we've been talking about this guy for so long. and how he would give. We talked about when he was with the Rays. Oh my gosh, this guy is going to crush the Yankees. Give him fits. You guys were terrified of him. Now he's your starting shortstop, essentially.
Yes.
Boone said day to day we're going with our shortstop decisions. Doesn't sound like it. I mean, sounds like you found your guy.
It seems like it. It's going to be interesting to see how they treat Volpe, if they start considering him healthy, or is this just going to ride? I don't know.
Can I say something about Volpe? Like,
please.
I feel like it's not his fault. Like, yeah, he has been playing well, so that's his fault. But he's not the one writing himself into the lineup, dude.
Yeah, and they've just handled him differently than anybody else, and that's kind of part of the problem. And it's kind of like, why? And it's kind of, okay, the injury happened in May, so how much of it is linked to that? I don't know. But those are some good Talkin' Yanks fodder if you guys want to check that out. Trev, I think the final, because we'll end up talking some D-backs in the NL. I guess the Guardians are back in the mix. They sweep the White Sox. There's, again, a lot of teams have been doing that. And then the Blue Jays just deserve more flowers, but in a weird way, it feels like the same flowers. Like they have these awesome comebacks, and they have these just at-bats and innings that they just pass the baton that makes them unstoppable. The Blue Jays, MLB leading 46th comeback. Crazy.
No, they can do that. With the Guardians, it's, I know they swept the White Sox. Quick on them. Pitching has been great. Tanner Bybee with the shutout. 10 Ks there. We know they can play defense. They moved to a 6-man rotation because they had a bunch of games in a row. I think it was 17 games, 17 days. I think they have an off day today, but then 7 games in 6 days after today. So they moved to the 6-man rotation. They've been killing it. I think it's best rotation in baseball since they did that. I wanted one play brought up because this ended the game on Sunday, and Brian Rocchio moved to second base from shortstop. Yeah. Look at this play to end the game. That was 1st and 3rd. The game's tied if he doesn't make that play. Play that again, Bobby. This guy is so fun to watch. I mean, that's a real full extension dive right there. Gets up and fires an absolute strike. That's just good ball, man. I feel like whenever I talk about the Guardians, I always pointed at this guy. Rocchio's like defensively getting the job done. He's had some big hits. I don't know, man. He's fun to watch.
Well, and Trev, it's probably not a conversation for now, but it's like, okay, does Cleveland scout these guys, or does Cleveland coach these guys, or a little bit of everything? Because, like, how can all of these players keep coming out of the same system that, like, hey, he wasn't at shortstop on that play because Arias is over there. And Andres Jimenez came from them. And Lindor, like, I don't know. Like, that's what you need to play for them. And it makes game-winning plays. Defense matters. The nerds so missed it. Well, the nerds believe the defense.
I don't think they miss defense, but I think we, as a society, need to pay more attention to like fun defensive plays, and not just like home run robberies. Those are like awesome, but like let's get back into the intricacies of a middle infield. We've gotten away from like badass middle infield combos.
Yeah,
need that, and like that is 2 guys working in tandem up the middle together. I think I've said this on the show before, but let me reiterate it. There's nothing more beautiful in sports. And there's like a relationship there and a familiarity that like only comes from a bunch of reps together. And I hope we get back to that. We're trying to push starting pitching. Our guy, Bobby Manfred, wants the matchups, the big showdowns. What about the middle infielders? We need some love.
I'm glad you're representing them.
I want to look at one thing about the Blue Jays, who, again, are about to pop champagne. They've been awesome. Shout out David Popkins, my guy. Wow. Just gets let go by the Twins and then goes and wins the AL East. That's nice. Shane Bieber with a nice start. I'm looking at his last starts. Okay. He's been great. One hiccup against Cincinnati, but what a nice pickup for them.
Yeah.
Did not think that was going to happen. I was not on that train, and great pickup.
And by the way, the Orioles came into this series hot. I think they were 8-1 in June, and like Toronto, it just doesn't matter right now. The year George Springer's had, we've talked about it a decent amount on this show. Love that for him. Connecticut dude. And yeah, they are going to win the AL East. They're essentially 5 games up on the Yankees with 2 weeks to play. That it would have to be cataclysmic. You know,
I want people to start thinking about the tiebreaker as a half of a game. It's not one game.
Yeah, I'm not with you on that.
It's just a half game.
I'm not with you on that because we're all going to play the same amount of games.
Yeah, but the tiebreaker does. If you finish 1 game back,
right,
it doesn't automatically make you tied.
Correct.
If you finish tied, it separates you by a half of a game. So you can't make up a game, but it could be the difference. That's it. It's a half game.
I see what you're saying, but it's the same thing.
Don't say that. Don't answer. Just say yes, sir. Just say, yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Hey, how about, do you want to go into Toronto?
How about you bring
50 and 25 at home?
Bring that love potion out east. Let's have a week this week. No, man, I don't want to go to Toronto. I don't want to go to Seattle.
10th sweep of the season, 46 comeback victory. They got 3 hitters batting 300 or better.
Toronto's going to be out of their dome. Remember when they first started the wild card game and Toronto had that playoff game where everyone was the drunkest human on the planet and everyone was like, whoa.
That's
is
like
this
every
legal?
Thursday.
I know. And the Canadians were like, yeah, well, hockey's coming. So
it was me.
Yes.
It was you sitting at Earl's drinking beers before we head over to, is it called the Rogers Center still? Probably.
I've never been. I'd like to.
Oh my gosh.
I know,
Jake.
right? It's a really big miss for me.
They've redone it. It's changed a ton.
I'd love to stay in that hotel. Watch a game from there, get the love potion.
I never did that. Is that why you want me to come out there? Love potion, hotel, baseball.
We're just saying buzzwords for the algorithm. All right. Hey, yeah. D-backs and Reds are part of the story, but it's part of the story in the NL, so let's get over there. The San Diego Fernando! The Padres. They hosted the Rock Pile for 4, and they took 3 out of 4, as teams do against the Rockies, if not 4 out of 4. How about the Rocks hold and serve in that second game? A little fortitude to win 4-2. Kyle Farmer in the mix. You know Trev likes that. Otherwise, it's a lot of Padres. Jackson Merrill is back and hitting baseballs a long way. Manny turned on one in signature fashion as well. Big Gavin Sheets hit in that final game. I don't know. Good team versus one of the worst teams to ever play baseball. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 from the Kansas City Royals. They took the first 2 games. Bryce Harper. I cannot wait to hear Trev talk about Walker Buehler, talking about the ABS system, if we can incorporate that. It doesn't look like the stadium is big enough for Kyle Schwarber. And it's because it's not. And also, Salvador Perez, 300,000 RBIs, statue guy. Kansas City, not getting talked about in the playoff picture as much. The Texas Rangers and the Mets maybe played the most exciting baseball this weekend. DeGrom returns to Citi Field, and he gets the most first-inning run support he's ever gotten. That was kind of crazy to see as they went nuts on young Jonah Tong. The next day, Rangers win 3-2 late. Wyatt Langford with the RBI single in the 9th. Mets bounce back to salvage the series in extra. He's a big, strong guy. Alonso into right center. Mets salvage. Astros take 2 out of 3 from the Braves. Zach Cole, how's your debut, kid? First pitch out of the park. 3 hits, 4 RBI day as they get the win in that first game. They followed up Christian Walker to dead center to win the series. But the Braves and Ozzie Albies knock around Framber a little bit and get that final day win. The Milwaukee Brewers, how's your magic number of 0? And it happens in magic fashion. They win in 10 innings, a 9-8 game, as Brewers gets. Frelick, Chiriot, and Contreras in the 9th to send it to extras. And then, of course, Monasterio with the walk-off in the 10th. Oh, I see you, Caleb Durbin. Cardinals win that final game. Cubbies take 2 out of 3 from the Rays, and unfortunately, that's kind of what's been happening for the Rays. Ian Happ is a ball player. 3 hits in the first game, 2 hits in the last game, 2 homers in the series. Caballero keeps homering. He's sneaking up on 50. I think he's got 44. I'm not sure if he's going to get there. Cubs, they take 2 out of 3. The Marlins take 2 out of 3 from Detroit Tigers, and one of the bigger scares of the weekend is Tarek Skubal has to come out of the game. Things came back negative. It's looking like he's going to make his next start. So that's the bigger news for the Tigers. And hey, how about a little fish love? Alcantara, 7 innings, 2 earned. Joey Wiemer is back. Joey Wiemer hitting home runs. Why not? Troy Johnston. Have a day. So disrespectful. Sexy fish. Miami takes 2 out of 3. Nats take 2 out of 3 from the Pirates. Did you watch? I don't know. Bubba Chandler bounce back start. McCutchen got a hit. I liked that. The final series in the National League. It's your Best Western Road Warriors, brought to you by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. The Dodgers, after dropping the first game on another Patrick Bailey grand slam walk-off, they come back to put up double digits in the next 2 games. You know Shohei was involved. You know Freddie was hooking balls down the line. Michael Conforto with a couple big days at the office. The Dodgers scored 10-plus runs in consecutive games at Oracle Park for the first time since 2018. They are 18-10 against San Francisco since the start of 2022. And Yamamoto, hello. They are your Best Western Road Warriors. Give me some standings, Coach Trev.
Not a boy. Yeah, you really are disrespectful.
Joey Wiemer.
You, Buster Olney.
It's just his name. I love Joey Wiemer.
I do have the standings, Pop. I'm going to get them for you right now in the NL East. This is also almost over. Their magic number has to be like 2. I think it's like a 1, actually, for the Phillies.
Phillies, 1.
It's 1. 89-61 for them. They're 12 games up on the New York Metropolitans, who are 77-73. The Marlins, 70-80. The Braves, 66-83. And the Nationals, 62-87. I got to stop reading these other teams. They're not in it. They're gone.
Wow.
The Brewers, 5.5 games up on the Cubs, 91-59 for them. That's the best record in baseball. 85-64 for those Cubs, 74-75 for the Reds. 1 game under 5 for them. I don't think I can talk about them. 73-77 for the Cardinals, 65-85 for the Pirates. The Dodgers, a 2.5 game lead over the Padres. They're sitting at 84-65, 82-68 for those Fathers, 75-74 for the Giants, 75-75 for Dalton Snakes, and the Rockies, 41-109. In the National League wild card, things are still interesting. I'll say that.
Okay.
The Cubs have the number 1 seed basically locked up. The Padres, the number 2 seed, basically locked up. And then it's the Mets hanging on for dear life. Now, the odds will tell you that they're like pretty much in the postseason. And I understand, like, again, we don't have a lot of games. They're 1.5 games up on those Giants, who are, playing a lot better ball as of late. Justin Verlander with the freaking Reeboks, man. Should have had those on all season long, JV.
Oh, my God.
And then the Snakes, 2 games back. I will talk about you, Reds. They're 2.5 games back. So, like, it's still up in the air. If the season were to end today, the Milwaukee Brewers and the Philadelphia Phillies would have a bye. And the Mets would have to go to LA, and the Padres would have to go to Chicago. Those are the standings in the National League.
Nobody better, Coach. And it looks like in Bethlehem, PA, the only mythical shop I'm seeing is, what is it? Into the Mist. I don't know if that rings any bells.
Another long time ago, Coach. I feel like which stores they're there for a little bit, then they move on.
Right. That's kind of the lifestyle.
Yeah.
Great stuff, Coach Trev. Let's do a little NL. God, that NL playoffs still very, very exciting. I think we have to do. You said before the show that this was the most exciting ball of the weekend. Rangers and Mets. The DeGrom return. Crazy that they put up one of the more crooked numbers you could put up in a first inning on young Jonah Tong as DeGrom goes out and throws 7 innings, 3 earned after that. And these Rangers, man, it's cool. It's cool listening to the broadcast and the excitement in their voice. Like, I realize they're not they're not in DVD mode yet because they're still outside of the playoffs, that this journey of this season has still been a little disappointing. They take the first 2 games, and they have a little bit of Mariners light, that it's like, okay, here's Cody Freeman, here's Michael Hellman, Dylan Moore with the pinch hit, former Mariner, that they continue to go, that, yeah, some of these playoff odds, it's hard to process it with them and the Mets.
It is, and this is an interesting series for me just because Mets throwing 3 rookies out there versus at least the first 2 games, a couple old dogs in DeGrom and Patrick Corbin. I'm very curious if the Mets do get in. I have this question teed up for Jolly. Over 1.5 rookies pitched in the wild card series. Like McLean's going to start.
Yeah.
And then do one of the other 2 guys, Sproat or Tong, get a start? I'm just curious to see how that all sets up. Game 1, yeah, they take it to Tong early on, 2/3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, and you mentioned Jacob deGrom does his thing. Game 2 was awesome. The Rangers come back against the bullpen, so you got Edwin Diaz being brought into the 8th. He walks a guy. Rowdy Tellez hits the freaking go-ahead, or excuse me, the game-tying ground rule double. And then there's some sloppy play, which we've seen from the Mets during this time. Francisco Alvarez gets called for the catcher's interference, which is tough. It's like walks at the end of these games when you're trying to close something out. Walks and like free base is like a catcher's interference. Just can't happen. And Carlos Mendoza kind of had some choice words after the game about that. But yeah, like it's there it is right there. That's a sac fly right there. This is the thing about the Rangers. We mentioned, all these young guys who, like, on the season aren't having great years. Like Michael Hellman's one guy who's put up good numbers, but a bunch of the other guys they're coming up late. They're just like in these spots doing it, but you're having a bunch of guys again taking the reins when their number is called upon. Rowdy pinch hit right there, great at bat against one of the best relievers in the game. Just an absolute rocket. That's what he does, though.
Yeah.
Like if you don't throw something over the middle plate, he can hit you. And then Wyatt Langford quietly has had just an incredible season. I feel like we haven't talked about him a ton, but it's been consistent. And now when the Rangers are making a playoff push, he's been right in the thick of it. So this is a really, really fun Rangers team that I do hope makes it to the postseason. I think they get miscategorized a lot. They are a team that pitches. And I feel like we always talk about the Rangers, man. They can slug the ball. They got these guys. It really hasn't been that way this year. The pitching has been what's kept them in the race this long.
Yes, and this feels a little obnoxious with the baseball that was played, but I want to see the next chapter so bad because the Rangers, they had won 6 in a row before losing that last game. The Mets had lost 8 in a row. So we're talking about playoff percentages and everything. If you keep losing at that rate, the percentage of you making the playoff is 0. That's not going to happen, but it's just how is water going to find its level? Are they going to be one of these teams that kicks into gear and now we're going to be talking about the Mets on a 6-game win streak or something? I don't know. I just know we keep playing in the NL wild card, what's going to be the amount of wins to get you in, and I think I might lower the number. I think I was at 87. I think it's 85. Like with the way the Mets are limping, with the way the Giants D-backs are back in the mix a little bit. Interested to see how the pressure of feeling potentially, I don't want to say blowing a season, but kind of. These Mets were in first place for a long time, and they welcome the Padres into town. That it's kind of must-watch baseball. Texas, I don't know. Are they playing Houston?
Yes, this is it right now. Like one of those 2 teams, I feel like it's going to be the end of their season this series. If you look at overall like team stats for the Rangers, again, right now Simeon's not there. Seager is not there. They've dealt with some injuries as of late. 25th in OPS, Jake, in the big leagues. 25th in OPS. It's not what you expect out of this team. But their starters, first in ERA, first in WHIP.
Yeah.
Relievers, fourth in WHIP. Like, pretty much the exact opposite of what I feel like a lot of people thought about this team coming into the year.
Yes. And you're right. They've 3 versus Houston, and then it's Miami and Minnesota. So this Texas, if Texas handles their business against Houston, like I think they're in it. It currently has them with a 30% playoff odds.
They got Leiter and Kelly going up against Houston. Those guys have been really, really good for them. I would love to see Jacob deGrom pitch in the playoffs too for the Rangers.
I mean, we're getting really close to it. I mean, his Wednesday start, depending what happens in those first 2 games, is massive for what the rest of this Texas Rangers season could be. Let's go Mets. In the National League, I guess. God, that series has the double implication. I guess do any of these others really jump off? I know this is being a little rude because obviously everything matters to you is if they're your favorite team. But I guess what series do you instinctually jump to here?
I said in the AL recap, essentially the Royals season is done. Phillies take 2 or 3 from them. They're kind of coasting now, so we don't really have to dive deep into that. The Walker Buehler stuff was funny. He has a nice start. He also fits that clubhouse of just these brazen, alpha dudes. It's like Dave Dombrowski is just cultivating alphas.
Yes.
He had something to say about the ABS. He says he doesn't like it because he feels like veteran pitchers should have a bigger strike zone.
How do you
I'm
feel?
fine with that. Do veteran hitters get a smaller strike zone?
Okay.
Huh?
Good counter, Trevor.
Well, that's how it has been. He's not wrong about that.
Right.
That's just how it has been for years and years and years. The veteran can stare in. He can say some things to an umpire that a rookie can't say. And that's a thing that umpires freaking love, dude. If you're a rookie and you're saying some stuff to them, they will throw it right back in your face. How long you been up here? It's like, what? What does that matter?
Why does that
zooed
matter?
a call.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's why he's saying that, because it's always been that way. Here's my thing. I wouldn't mind it if pitchers get pitches when they are around the strike zone. That's the truth. If the guy keeps dotting up a fastball that's 3 or 4 inches off the plate, eventually he's going to get the call. Very few umpires stick to their guns with that. They'll start getting calls. That's the whole thing. So.
Okay.
Another thing from that series, quick, Aaron Nola, I talked about him last start, had a great start, kind of like a bounce back, just what he needed, and he mixed his pitches up a lot better, started throwing the sinker more. On Sunday, up against the Royals, 6 innings pitched, 6 earned runs. He went back to his the pitch mix that he'd been doing the rest of the season, and I don't know why.
Right.
The sinker has been statistically your best pitch, and you're getting away from it. He did it. I don't understand. We just go back to your start. I believe it was on the 8th of September. Look at your pitch mix. 4 pitches over 15%. You got to do that.
Simple
That's
game.
my analysis. Shout out Vinny P. Got to 30 and 100.
We love that. And Salvi. Giants or Diamondbacks? Are you in it all? Giants, Diamondbacks, Reds. This is the conversation we've been doing for a little bit. Who can be the outsider coming in? The Reds, I mean, that sweep really hurts, man. That sweep really hurts. They're below the Diamondbacks right now in the standings.
I don't know the percentages, but I know that it's not good for the Reds. And they had a chance there, man. They went in. They had their pitching lined up. They had Singer. They had Green. They had Lodolo. But that's just not an easy place to go play. Not play, to pitch. Because you're going to go bang that. The A's pitching staff, as I mentioned, not good. So you can go in there and put up some runs, but you're also going to give up some runs, as we saw. I mean, the A's not only play in a park where runs are going to happen, but they have a pretty damn good offense, and we saw that. But effectively that was their chance to really solidify themselves in this race. And I think they did the exact opposite. I think they solidified themselves out of the race.
Kind of. And that's, Trev, I mean, a team that it feels like since the trade deadline we've just ignored. The Diamondbacks have a homestand. It's Giants, Phillies, Dodgers, so that's tough. They have 2 off days in between, so you can reset that bullpen, although I don't know if that can help what's going on in that Snakes bullpen. But, like, just look at this. Like, think about the Giants excitement we've had recently. They're teeing it up for 3. It's Gallen, Erod, and Fott versus Tang, Seymour, and JV. Like, we could be... I don't know. I don't know what we'll be saying by the end of the week, but the Diamondbacks could very much be a part of this season in the postseason. And then what are we going to be saying? And then we're going to be pissed they traded Gino and Naylor? Like, I don't know. Weird sport sometimes.
It is a weird sport. Corbin Carroll has put the team on his freaking back. He's almost 1-dotting it on the year, I believe. What is his OPS? I was looking at this the other day. Let me get it up.
Corbin Carroll OPS, top of my head. I'm going 962.
Yeah, it's in the 9 somewhere. I'm getting it right.
879. You got me
hyped. Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
Okay.
there was a list he was on. He's top 10 in the NL OPS wise, but I thought it was higher than that. 879 is freaking high.
OPS S plus with stolen bases. He's got 28 of those. So
he's about to hit 30-30. So 30 homers, 28 stolen bases, scored 101 runs. He's back to doing Corbin Carroll things. Those big old shoulders. You know I love the shoulders. I do. It's 2 weeks to go. They're down 2 games. There's 2.5 games. I just read the standings.
I think they're 2.
They're 2 games. They are 500. My gosh. And they have that gauntlet of a schedule.
Crazy.
And so, okay. They're playing, you said the Dodgers, the Phillies,
Giants,
and the Giants.
Giants, Phillies, Dodgers at home. Season on the line.
Holy shnikes.
Right?
All right. Keep going, Blaze Alexander, my guy.
Right? Blaze it, baby. Trev, let's keep on going because in some awards, I think we're gonna hit a couple of these series especially one. Oh, I mean, Dodgers Giants. I don't think I have an award from that, but I feel like that should be discussed.
Sure. Awesome pitching matchup. Game 1, JV has just been crazy efficient and good as of late. I mentioned he switches to the old school Reeboks. I want to know where those were, because every baseball player has like boxes of stuff left over from seasons. You get so much stuff, cleats, especially him,
right?
You know, a guy like that. I'm assuming these were in storage somewhere, whether that's at his house or a storage unit. He's got a big enough house, probably just one of his many homes that Justin Verlander has. He just one day was like, I'm going to dust these bad boys off. I can't find the story on it. But since he's been wearing them, it's been incredible. If someone could find the story, let me know. But him and Yamamoto go toe for toe. That's not even a thing. Toe to toe.
Toe to toe, yes. Not toe for toe. That's a dangerous game.
Toe to toe. And then we get another Tanner Scott just
dude.
1-0 heater to Patrick Bailey, liftoff. Great win for the Giants right there. And then the Dodgers offense just explodes for the next 2 games. That's kind of what they can do, man. I mean, I don't think we're going to sit around here and I don't think the Dodgers pitching is going to bring them to a championship this year. You might have some good starts from some guys. They have some guys that can start. The bullpen still is in shambles. I'm sorry, dude. It has been bad all year long. All these guys they brought in with crazy track records. And I respect track records, but it just hasn't been that way. So they're going to have to score. They're going to have to score a ton of runs and then just kind of like ride that, like, please, please, please don't blow it mentality. That's what it's going to be for the Dodgers. Look at this homer. Oh my God.
Right. I mean, that's just with how much Tanner Scott's getting hit. It just feels like a lack of fear. Like, I don't know if
he said he was throwing too many strikes, but that it looks straight, man. And I don't know what's changed. if there's something mechanically or not. I don't think he's tipping pitches, although they better figure some stuff out. I don't know what they're going to do at the end of games. I do not know. But if you score 13 and 10, you're probably going to win.
And Teoscar kicking into gear.
He's starting getting going. Mookie's going.
Conforto with 2 weeks hitting 333. Like Freddie looking like Freddie. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to be in a wild card series. That's nuts.
Conforto was the Dodgers' Volpe.
Oh, hey now.
They kept playing him. It was very, very bad. Now all of a sudden, he hits a homer off JV, has a good third game as well, going 3 for 4. That'd be a nice little insurance policy for them.
Yeah, Michael Conforto, career 787 OPS, so it's a little different.
Have you seen the beginning of his season?
I did, and that's tough. It's a tough game, Trev. You and I know, players.
Yeah.
None of these other short media guys. Let's keep on moving to standout performances.
It's time for Standout Performances. Standout Performances.
Standout Performances.
This guy stood out for Trev.
Say what?
I don't know if I know where you're going, Trev, but you might be going with DraftKings. My sports book. Today's episode is brought to you by DraftKings. The NFL's rolling. If you're looking to bet a touchdown, that's an easy one. Do it at DraftKings. A winner, the over, the under, whatever you're looking for. DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. And right now, if you bet just $5, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code JMBaseball. That's code JMBaseball to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet and $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Where are you going, Coach?
I'm going to go with a guy. We talked about their team a little bit about defense. We talked about pitching, but I always say this. I love a story of brothers, especially in the big league. So I'm going Bo Naylor.
Wow.
On Sunday, 2 for 3, a double, a homer, 3 runs driven in for a surging Guardians team that needs offense in any way they can get it. And Bo Naylor showed up there, got the victory there as they get the sweep. And again, I know it's against the White Sox, but we don't talk about the Naylor brothers facing off in the postseason enough.
Oh.
I really, really would enjoy if somehow, some way, we got a Guardians-Seattle matchup, and it's bro versus bro. You ever seen that movie Brothers? Like Jake Gyllenhaal and who else is it? Tobey Maguire.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, the guy comes back from war. They think he's dead. Is the wife with the brother.
Oh. I know the movie Four Brothers. That's an awesome movie.
Oh, that's a good one, too.
It's a great movie. Who gonna take on the champ? That's it's a great scene.
Okay.
Anyways, Victor Sweet. Glad we talked about that. Yeah, the Naylor Bros are kind of badass.
Isn't there another one coming too, though? That's what I heard.
Think so. I think we looked that up one day. Sofia Vergara and Four Brothers. Anyways, good standout, Coach Trev.
Miles Naylor is in the Astros athletics organization.
They got position players. They know what they're doing.
Barely know her.
Canadians.
Kind of dude that one.
Well, Trev, I'll pick us right back up. We talked about Texas Rangers a lot. We talked about Seattle a lot. We didn't talk a ton about Houston, who they won 2 games against the Atlanta Braves. And, man, a standout performance is a rookie debut. Jimmy yells it every time he sees a rookie debut. He says, swing as hard as you can at the first pitch, because why not? You're in the show. Like, make it count. Zach Cole got called up by the Houston Astros. First pitch he saw, a little cutter, which a bad cutter is just a hittable fastball. Zach Cole leans on it. He ends up getting hits in his next 2 at-bats as well. 3 for 4 on the day. Homer, 4 RBI. His family was in the stands, which was awesome. But, Trev, it's one of my favorite clips from the weekend, and I guess I want to get your feedback on it if maybe I'm getting too Jakey emotional on it. But did you see his Double-A teammates just going nuts
Yes.
over their guy. I think Bobby's got the clip. It's again, maybe I'm over romanticizing it, and it's just, I don't know, a group of 22-year-old guys that get hyped over anything. But the way they were hyped for their boy was pretty special.
It is awesome. There's always an interesting feeling around the clubhouse because all those guys want to be in his position. So you see guys, when you see a teammate get called up and you're sitting, in AAA or AA, whatever it is, it's always like, damn, okay. Like, if it's your boy, you're happy for him. You're going to root for the guy. But there's always a sense, like in the back of your mind, like, shoot, like, what do I got to do? Like, I want that to be me. And then there's special guys that nobody thinks that way, and they just cheer for you. And maybe he's one of those guys. But it's an interesting dynamic, man. It's not always just like, yeah, it's our boy. It's not always like that.
Well, I think the other he got called straight up from AA, so I think you've got more of the youth and the innocence around it. And yeah, man, I don't know. I think from their reaction, I think Zach Cole is a well-liked guy. I think there was some genuine just excitement for a dude there that you can't replace. And by the way, it's that time of year, Trev. Going back to Evan Carter getting the call for Texas and breaking on the scene. The Giants just called up Bryce Eldridge.
Yep.
So like we are in that. It's this weird new element of baseball that nobody knows what to do with, but it feels like teams are saving like some of their top talent to not get overexposed throughout the year. Like the Mets' whole pitching staff right now. Bryce Eldridge getting called with 2 weeks left. Like, I don't know, if you thought he was gonna provide something, wouldn't you have called him up just a little earlier? I don't know.
I don't think Eldridge has been doing great at AAA, and then they had Dom Smith just got injured, so they had a hole, and now they're able to fill it. Story of your life.
Oh.
I have a similar experience. I just remember this. Luke Hughes, my Australian brother, like one of my best friends in baseball. We came up together. He got called up before me, hits a homer first pitch. I believe it was against Scherzer in Detroit Oppo.
Oh.
Don't hold me to Scherzer, but I know it was in Detroit. And that was a weird feeling for me.
You were jealous.
I'm just being honest, man.
You were jealous.
Like, I wanted to get called up, and all of a sudden it's my boy, and he was like crushing the ball that year, just like hitting homers out of nowhere. Weird feeling though. Happy for him, jealous of him. Yeah. I don't know. It's those are true human feelings. I do want to say this about, you mentioned the debut, like might as well swing it. Here's Luke Hughes. That a boy on the freaking spot, and it was Scherzer.
Top of the third, go get it. Leading off the
He was a menace that year. All of a sudden, he was strong, but all of a sudden, he just started hitting bombs, bro.
Good for Luke
Didn't really have a position, unfortunately, for my guy, Luke Hughes. But shout out, Perth, Australia.
Shout out.
Your first day in the big leagues, man. We need to do some research on this. I want to know, like, exit velos from your first day in the big leagues, because there's just extra juice. You got extra juice. The adrenaline is there. Your adrenaline might never be higher. Obviously there's playoff games and all of that, but like, I think there's so much pressure in the playoff games that maybe it takes down your adrenaline a little bit. A debut, it's just like magical. There's not a lot of pressure on you, especially when you're coming up in September. So the adrenaline is there, man. You can you get up to a big league park, you're getting pearls thrown to you. You just feel like an absolute monster.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That's great. That's what I was asking. Man, a lot of other, Carlos Cortez, Ian Happ feels like he can stand out with the best of them. Randy Vasquez, Tanner Gordon. Trev, I'm hoping we're going to see some of these guys on in Fuego.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Thank you. In Fuego, we're going to start off with my guy. Yeah. I had a guy in Kyle Farmer, who now plays for the Rockies. Now my new guy, although I don't think he likes me as much as Kyle Farmer did, Cody Clemens. Yes, that Cody Clemens, Roger's son. He's been so good for the Twins this year. 7 for 13, a double, 3 homers, 7 runs driven in. He became the 11th Twins player to record a 3-homer game and the 14th instance in Twins history. His 3-homer game was the first since Miguel Sano did it on May 18, 2021. I never had one, people. I know what everybody's wondering. Not only did Cody Clemens do this in this series against the D-backs, if you go back one series against the Royals, he had a ball 461 over the batter's eye in Kansas City, and we were like, damn, bro. All right. Salvador Perez, 4 for 13, 3 homers, 8 runs driven in. Yes, he hit his 300th career homer, 1,000th career RBI. He's the 8th primary catcher to hit 300 career home runs. 6 of the other guys in the Hall of Fame. Michael Conforto, we mentioned, he was getting hot. 5 for 10, a homer, 5 runs driven in. He's raised his average to 200 above the Mendoza line. The first time it's been that since April 19th. He went 9 for 18 with 2 homers and 7 runs driven in 6 games at Oracle Park this year. Aaron Judge also getting hot at the right moment. 5 for 10, 2 homers, 2 runs driven in the series. Nico Horner, we didn't talk about him. Probably should have. Because he's having an absolute week and a season. 11 for 23 on the week, 478 average, 3 doubles, a triple, 3 runs driven in. In September, he's just been balling. He's hitting 396 to raise his average to 299. He's close to catching, who is it? Trey Turner leads the NL in batting average at 305. Trey's out right now. Not sure when he's going to come back, so it'll be interesting to see if he can catch him. But Nico's really done a ton of damage with runners in scoring position. 362 batting average this year. It's the highest in the NL with runners in scoring position. That's kind of when you want to like hit the most.
Right.
And he's doing it. Very contact-oriented. Love us some Nico Horner. Bryson Stott, 9 for 21 on the week, 2 homers, 4 runs driven in. You mentioned my guy, Jorge Polanco, 11 for 28, Jake. 10 doubles?
Yeah.
6 runs driven in. He had 3 doubles and has doubles in 7 straight. He had 3 doubles in a game. He has doubles in 7 straight games. That ties the Mariners record. Not sure if the witch specifically tied those into her spell. Not sure. Harrison Bader has just been an absolute menace. Style king, postseason hero, trade deadline, locked up the center field, badass dude. 16 for 33 for him on the week, 3 doubles, a homer, 4 runs driven. Not enough credit goes to him for being a leader, but he is. Some of the best footwork in all of the outfield in Major League Baseball. Matt Olson, not going to say it, 7 for 20. 3 homers, 4 runs driven. He's seen 8+ pitches in 35 plate appearances this season. That's most in Major League Baseball. It means you're seeing pitches, taking good at bats, Jake. And that was who was in Fuego.
Trev, fantastic work. Fantastic work. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Workplace stress is now one of the top causes of declining mental health. With 61% of the global workforce experiencing higher than normal levels of stress, to battle stress, most of us can't wave goodbye to work, but we can start small with a focus on wellness. Something as simple as getting some sun while playing catch can make a big difference. BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. Convenient. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Unwind from work with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/TalkinBaseball. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/TalkinBaseball. Trev, couple things there. Forgot that Bader was on the Phillies for a second when you mentioned Walker Buehler and the alpha situation. Quick scan of the 26-man Phillies roster
insane.
And how many alphas are on the team. Let's see. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. An easy 9. That's a lot.
League average alphas, 3.
Probably 3. I don't want to name names because I don't want anyone to be offended by it, but tough to say David Robertson's not an alpha.
An aging alpha.
The best kind. That's kind of this program. Okay, Trev. Great in Fuego. What else was I going to say? Dude, Polanco, 7 straight games. That's
what
insane.
do you like to say? Bookend.
Yeah.
He's bookending the
Right?
season.
The bread. He's having a bread season.
A bread season, yes.
And I'm glad we highlighted Horner. He big double against Uceta that helped them win the game, and he just helps win you games.
Yes.
That's nice to have.
Are the Cubs just going to go on this like magical run? Cade Horton, ride him.
Dude, you talked about Rizzo last episode. How about his day?
I told everyone Eddie Vedder's a Cubs fan. Did you see him?
Yeah, you did. Out there with Rizzo. Rizzo got a home run ball off his hand, which kind of got to squeeze that, coach.
I can't. I dropped a foul ball at Dodger Stadium with a glove, so I can't. This is tough. Bare hand up there. He's had some pops.
There's a pops had been out. And look at, Ian Happ. Here's the money ball. Buy more people beer. Is there anyone more pro? I don't think so. Let me tell you who's struggling. How about that?
Hey man, you've been struggling lately. It's time to pick it up!
A lot of youth on this list. It's a long season, Trev. Drake Baldwin, the young Braves catcher, 5 for 39 right now. OPS at 250 on pitches in the heart of the plate the last 14 days. Those are the ones you gotta do the damage on. Thick neck Josh Young. It feels like he's been here all year. 462 plate appearances this year. No sack flies or no sacrifices. One of 3 players. Interesting. Kind of tough.
Give yourself up.
7 for 45 too is also tough in his last couple weeks. Nolan Jones, 6 for 37. He was the Rockies' future for a little bit. He's floating around with Cleveland right now. Ellie De La Cruz. God, Cincinnati. 8 for 49. 34 strikeouts lasting 3 pitches, the most in the NL. Coming at you. That's tough, huh? Don't like that.
The worst feeling. You're so embarrassed after a 3-pitch strikeout.
The only one that and again, we played at different scales. The only thing that hurt me more than that, a foul out used to crush me.
Oh, everyone hates
a foul out was the absolute worst.
Do you run? Do you not run?
Now you're half jogging.
When you run out a foul ball, you're just like, it's
tough.
This is the worst.
Gunnar Henderson, 6 for 37. It comes for everyone, this sport. 100 batting 154 on pitches in the strike zone over the last 2 weeks. Second lowest in the AL.
What's overall numbers?
Ooh.
Let's just, what do you got? Because I just looked it up.
Top of my head, I would guess like a 810 OPS. 789
OPS.
Sheesh.
Slug is down a little bit this year. On base percentage on par with career average. 16 homers, 62 runs driven in. Still 4.5 WAR, plays defense. We know what he does. Down year in your 4.5 WAR.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
I mean, it was 9 last year.
That's really good. More than double. We say those guys to tell you what's going on. Nine's more than double. 4?
4.5 is exactly half of 9.
Oh, I thought you said 4 flat. My bad. Okay. Was he 9 flat?
No, he's 9-1. So you're actually right.
Okay. So I'm the asshole.
Take that, Buster.
And just a final note, Jimmy loves Buster, so we're laughing at all of this. Like, baseball history short.
This is the thing. This is what I really believe, man.
Right.
All the guys that we grew up with, I grew up with Buster Olney.
Yeah.
They're just getting a little older, a little more ornery.
Boy.
We'll be there. Like, we'll be like some AI kid. It's not gonna be a real kid, obviously. It's gonna be an AI kid. I'm gonna be so mad at him when I'm older, when I get a little bit more ornery. Now I'm just happy and exuberant, full of life.
You keep saying ornery, and I start thinking of that love potion, and I don't know.
That's 2 different words, bro.
The IL. Let's keep things down for a little bit. Jose Alvarado out for Philly for the rest of the year. And a reminder, he was ineligible for the postseason anyways with his PED ban, so he gone. Brennan Bernardino out for the Boston Red Sox. Lefty arm for them. Andrew Chafin on the Halos. Him and Travis d'Arnaud out for the season. That's where we're at, people. Lance McCullers Jr., your guy. Right hand soreness. expected to miss end of regular season and then TBD. Your guy, David Morgan, for San Diego, some right shoulder inflammation. So many of these are like, we're going to check in at the end of the year. We'll see. Dom Smith, like you mentioned, right hammy, out through the regular season. Will Smith for the Dodgers. Circle that one. He first got hurt on September 3rd. They didn't think it was going to be going this long, so obviously something to track. Mason Wynn out for the season, torn meniscus. Hate that. Owen Casey, the big Cubs outfield prospect, got kind of slid tackled by PCA and ends up going into the wall after a nice catch. That's a tough one. Jake Fraley out for the year. It's that Chase Dollander. Tough. The good news is life finds a way and people come off the aisle. Brendan Donovan will get in these final 2 weeks of the season. Tyler O'Neill for Baltimore. Adolis Garcia, if he can find it for a couple weeks. Jose, show me your cat. Jose Urquidy on Detroit. Wow. Missed that body. Justin Lawrence twirling it for Pittsburgh in their bullpen. Let's start everyone's week. Awards are brought to you by our Talkin' Baseball live show from DK at Wrigley. That's right. Wednesday, September 24th, we're heading back out. We were there earlier this year. Myself, Jolly Olive, and Joe's McFly talking some baseball with the people at the DraftKings Sportsbook at Wrigley before the game. We're going to talk playoffs, baseball trivia, and just hanging out with the people because that's what we're best at. And then we're going. Cubs-Mets, 6:40 game. What was that, Jake? The event starts at 5 p.m. Central Time. You can reserve a spot by clicking the link. It's free, so you just let us know if you're coming. That'd be great. 5 p.m. Central Time, Wednesday, September 24th, DK Sportsbook at Wrigley Field. Trev, what do you got?
I'm going with the History Repeats Itself award. I was looking up, like, what's the definitive quote? Like, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. There's like a bunch of quotes out there. There's like a Mark Twain. There's a Karl Marx. People have been saying this for a long time. So it's sort of a History Repeats Itself award and also a What Is You Doing Baby award. I'm kind of on that train right now. And this one goes to the Chicago White Sox because we're looking at a reincarnation of the 2016 Chris Sale trade. That is what we are seeing. And if you don't remember, Chris Sale with the White Sox, just an amazing start to his career. 7 years there to a 3 on the dot ERA, just all-star. They trade him away. They get Yoan Moncada. Who else did they get? I got it up right here.
Moncada. It was Kopech.
It was me. It was Moncada. It was Victor Diaz, Alexander Basabe, Michael Kopech, and Yoan Moncada. Now, I don't really understand why the White Sox did that deal at the time. I guess you could say, hey, like, they weren't going to re-sign him. Don't know why you can't re-sign the guy. Don't understand that aspect, Jerry. But they let him go. What happens in the following years to the White Sox? They got these awesome players back, these top prospects. They must have made the playoffs a bunch, right?
Yep.
No.
Oh.
No. 17, no. 18, no. 19, no. 2020, no. 2021, they made the playoffs. And then we thought it was going to be the birth of the Chicago White Sox. It wasn't. It just wasn't. Now we're doing the exact same thing. We're seeing Garrett Crochet. Oh, by the way, what happened in 2018 with the Red Sox, who Chris Sale got traded to? They won the World Series.
Won a lot.
Yeah, they did it. We're seeing the same thing with Garrett Crochet. He gets traded for, I got to get it up again, Kyle Teal. Some, whoever it is. I don't know, people.
Chase Mydroth, your guy.
Chase Mydroth, vibes guy. Kyle Teal, good player. Wickelman Gonzalez, Braden Montgomery. Okay, great. Chicago White Sox. Is the future bright? Probably not, dude. It's just we're seeing history repeat itself. Not a good year for the White Sox. You know what? It's been a good year for Garrett Crochet in the Red Sox, man. I got him picked going to the World Series. He's phenomenal. Why are the White Sox doing this again? Why did they do that again? You just saw it play out. And there's so many similarities between Garrett Crochet and Chris Sale. It was right there in front of you. Why are we so enamored with prospects? You got a guy, one of the best starting pitchers in all of baseball. You know what the hardest thing to have in baseball is? Great starting pitching. It just isn't available, dude. And you got a guy. Why are we giving him away again? Why is history repeating itself? Like, what do they think is going to happen? They think Chase Meidroth and Kyle Teel are going to steer them into the next White Sox resurgence that like doesn't happen ever. Like, what are we doing? I know they got some nice players. Colson Montgomery, great. I can't even name another one. I'm sorry, I can't. And I'm a Twins fan. Okay?
Have you called White Sox games this year?
I don't think I called any White Sox games this year. I might have early on, but I can't remember. All I'm saying is I don't understand why they would make this trade again. It was essentially the exact same trade that they saw blow up in their face. Yoan Moncada is playing for the Angels right now, just the most lackadaisical third base I've ever seen played in my life. So what was the thought process behind them trading Garrett Crochet? I just need to know. And White Sox fans, tell me how you feel. And Red Sox fans, you got to be like, this is the best thing ever. We're doing this again? It's a what is you doing, baby award. It goes to the White Sox. Don't hug your prospects. Don't fall in love with prospects, man, because the big leagues is just different and you need dogs on your roster and you're giving away dogs. Not even dogs. You're giving away the alpha dog. And I don't like it, and I don't know why it's happening. So I don't know. I just thought about that when I was watching Garrett Crochet pitch. I'm like, this is just the exact reincarnation of Chris Sale. And what are the White Sox doing? It sucks. Sucks for the fan base. I don't care who you get back, man. Are they thinking back? They're trying to recoup Fernando Tatis Jr. because they acquired James Shield and gave him away. Are they trying to make up for that? Is that what it is? For my life, I can't understand it.
It's interesting because I remember when the new GM came in and it was like, well, his first task is going to be trading Crochet. And, we do have this weird thing within sports. We're just like, okay, you're a bad team. You have a good player. Trade away that good player, bring in prospects. And it is a little bit how baseball works, but it's also, if it's someone young and as good as Crochet, if he would have
traded him when he was 25 or 26 years old.
Exactly.
It's like,
that if he was willing to sign with the White Sox, which from every report, I think he just wanted the contract. I don't think he had any qualms with the White Sox. Maybe he did. Like maybe there's stuff we don't know about contracts he turned down. But I don't know. I think the contract he got offered with the Red Sox, if he got offered that with the White Sox, I wouldn't be surprised if he signed. And if you're the White Sox, you're going to spend the next 8 years hoping to find Garrett Crochet. So I get what you're saying. And White Sox fans, hey, I hope Teel and Meidroth and Braden Montgomery, I hope they're a big part of the future. And maybe it's egg on our face if they're all studs, but you still want a Crochet.
I don't understand it. I don't.
Yeah. Great stuff, Trev.
I don't know. It was on my mind, Jake. Sorry to bring the show down a little bit.
No, man. I'm glad you can speak your mind in this program. You know what? I debated giving Jazz an award because over his 162 games with the Yankees, he's been 40 homers, 48 stolen bases, which is insane. And
wow.
Yeah, at the time, that was, when he got traded, it was like, oh, Yankees, Jazz, I don't know. He's been amazing. He's been one of the best second basemen in baseball. I think I've given this guy kind of an award earlier this year, maybe not, but I'm just going to give out I'll keep filming the DVD award. I talked about it before with the Mariners, how they feel like they have a DVD going right now that's a pretty damn good one. The Toronto Blue Jays have a pretty good DVD going right now for their World Series. Phillies always have the Alpha DVD going on. We didn't talk about them much this episode. We should always be talking about them. The Milwaukee Brewers, we talked magic numbers, we talked clinching. Pat Murphy has been one of our biggest conversation pieces this season. And every time he gets brought up, I try to drive home how cool Bob Uecker was. Like, he was doing Tonight Show with Carson. He's in movies. He was everywhere. He's Bob Uecker. And the fact that he was a baseball guy is good for baseball in our society. Passed away in January. And during the Brewers, popping bottles, like they're going to the postseason, a letter from Bob Uecker, and I don't know, I'll play us out with it because it's Pat Murphy reading a letter from Bob Uecker. Talk about alphas, like the way that Pat Murphy demands the room's attention and Bob Uecker demands respect in that organization. It's kind of powerful stuff. So Bobby's got that.
I got a letter today from you. Howdy, boys. Never a doubt you would get this invitation. You did it by believing. Really miss you guys, and I wish I was there. Things are good. The God Almighty picked me to be on his team up here, albeit I'm the third catcher.
I told Rob you could stop it at. It keeps going, and it's a very nice note. Hey, go check it out on your own time today when you want. A little weird, like a letter from the afterlife, kind of. But Bob Uecker, dropping that third catcher joke, amazing. And, dude, like, if you're a Milwaukee Brewers fan that you've never had a World Series with everything this team is about, and they're wearing Uecker on the sleeve, like, everyone should be rooting for your team, and that's how this sport works. If not, it's hard to not be rooting for the Brewers DVD this year.
Yeah, Uecker is awesome, man. I get to work next to Corey Provis when I call Twins games. He spent a ton of time with Uecker. He worked beside him, and he's like, he's just told me countless stories, just like stunts that Uecker played, just like the day-to-day, what kind of man he was, and I just have a ton of respect for him and everything that he means. I love the note from the afterlife. Like, how badass is that? Not too many guys can pull that off, right? I tell you. Like, here's a letter. Read this when they make the playoffs, and it just makes a ton of sense. And it got me going. The first time I heard Murph read that, teared up a little bit. Like,
yeah, it's real.
It's an emotional thing. Like, he means a lot to Milwaukee. He means a lot to that team. You talk to those guys, man, who had any interactions with him, and it's just positive. And I don't know, man. You want to talk about Etsy Witch? You better talk about Uecker.
Yeah.
Pulling some strings up there.
I'll take Uecker over the Etsy Witch.
I will too.
All day. Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoy your baseball week. Might be some funk this week. We're figuring it out as we go. Go check out Jolly Olive on Baseball Today. Can he handle that?
Jake sucks. Don't be jealous. He put together a great burn when you were gone. Okay.
It's a warehouse week. It's a warehouse.
It's a warehouse.
There's no friends.
I think I'm just gonna be happy-go-lucky.
It's me. It's Peter Moylan. It's you. It's Bobby Golf. It's Devil's Lettuce.